Jen Fry has been replaced by a beautiful black man.
Welcome to the Mojo Show. Yoga and everything else you need to live a good life and get your mojo working. Hey Mojo Mob, let's come together to discover tips, master resources, create ideas, and take actionable steps to become highly effective and successful mojo masters in everything we do. Start living the balanced, happy, fulfilling lifestyles of your dreams today and the rest of your days. And now your hosts, Jean Marie and Scott Johnson.
It's the Mojo Show, episode number 60. And if you are watching yet another video edition on the blog with us this week at mymojoyoga.com/episode 60, you will see that I have the wonderful co-hostess with the mostest, Bello Silitshena. Yes, hello. Good morning.
And Jen Fry has been replaced by a beautiful black man.
Jen Fry has made a magical transformation.
She replaced her long, beautiful hair with these crazy dreadlocks.
They're glorious. You should really come see what they look like on the blog. If you're listening on iTunes, of course. If you're watching, welcome. You'll see that we're still in Honolulu. Somehow we're magically still here. We haven't made it back to Maui yet. And we have with us Bello. And Bello, why don't you tell everybody who you are and where you come from?
Well, thank you for having me on the show, guys.
Yeah.
My name is Bello, and I'm the CEO of the Condo App.
Ooh.
The Condo App is a platform. It's a mobile application that property managers use to communicate more effectively with their residents, tenants, and so forth. And so we're launched in the Hawaii markets. We've been doing some market testing here, and we're in 30 buildings and have about 5,000 users. So
That's amazing.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so it's been a great journey, and we're here in Blue Startups, and it's been intense, but really exciting. So, yeah.
Just a wee bit intense over here.
Yeah, it's a wee bit intense. Yeah.
We're all
Now-
together over here.
Yeah, exactly. Now, everybody can tell from your accent that perhaps you didn't start here in Hawaii. So where did you come from?
Yeah, I did not. I was born in Botswana, and my parents from Zimbabwe and so forth, and I came here for college. I went to HPU, and back in 2001, seems like a long time ago, but so I came here for college. I was on an academic scholarship, and then I stayed. I was like, this Hawaii thing's grown on me a little.
Like so many of us.
Yeah. And
Quite
so,
easy to get used to.
exactly. So I, implanted myself, and I'm never leaving.
Never.
Never.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. It's funny, people keep asking us here, are you guys really gonna go back to Maui and try to run your business in Maui? And we're like, yeah, of course we are.
I have internet there.
Exactly.
I have a question.
Yeah, sorry.
How did you get into the entrepreneurial lifestyle? What was the transition there? Were you always kind of that way? Did your mind think that way, or was it something that you grew into?
Good question. In fact, I was influenced by my siblings, and my father was a very high achiever, and so that kind of trickled down through, and so I always knew that I wanted to do something, and put my own little stamp on it, and through various, I guess if you'd call it failed, business enterprises, I'm here now. I'm where I am, and so I've always sort of had that, and experimented with different things. I had an ice cream shop in California once. Made a big mistake because I opened in the winter.
Oh no!
I thought coffee would carry me over to the summer, and it just wasn't enough, and then that closed up. And then I started a children's magazine called Giggles.
Really?
Giglz. And did good. Had a couple of issues in circulation in the Sacramento area, and that worked out for a few months because publishing industry is really tough. But,
Yeah.
I always had, my degree was in hospitality management, and so I always had the backdrop. I could always go back and get back into resort, hotel management, or food and beverage, restaurant management. So,
Which is a very good industry out here in Hawaii.
okay, it's very, very good industry out here, yeah. And so, but I got into the app game about software specifically about almost a little over 10 years ago. And I've never looked back. It's paid my bills for the last 10 years, so.
That's awesome. Yeah, you mentioned that you had a lot of failed pursuits, and those of us with the entrepreneurial spirit, we go through that. We go through the sort of roller coaster of emotions constantly on a daily basis. And I know our yoga teachers out there experience that as well. You have the classes that are a hit, and then all of a sudden nobody's coming anymore, and why is no one coming to my class? And sometimes you just can't really figure out why, but you have to keep going.
Yeah.
And what is it that's kept you going through all those ups and downs?
Passion. There's not a single thing I've ever done that I was never passionate about. And it harkens back to what Steve Jobs had said once. He said, only the crazy ones. Only the crazy ones.
What are you saying? I'm not crazy.
He says the sane ones quit.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing to do, right? Why put yourself through all this torture and all of this? But really, that then narrows it down to there's few that actually really make it, and I think the main ingredient, that the common denominator in all of that is passion. So if you're passionate about what you're doing, then you'll always, regardless of the ups, the downs. But something I heard the other day during our pitch practice was somebody said, "Fail fast."
Yeah.
And so maybe that's a lesson. If I had known that a while back, I could have saved myself a lot of heartache.
Yeah.
But I was passionate till the end. So, but I think this is it.
Yeah, that's a really hard mind switch, to be able to be okay with failing fast and knowing that you're going to learn from it.
Exactly.
And you can keep going. Like, that's not the end. You move forward after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like knowing the timing with, it's not going to pan out the meat.
Yeah, that's really tough. I had read a book called The Dip by, I believe, Seth Godin, which is a great book you guys should get on Audible. I think it is on Audible. You should check that out there. And that was a really annoying book for me, I have to say. Everyone's like, this is such a great book. Because it's all about, the big question of when do you quit? When's it time to just pack it up, put it away, do something else? But when's it time, on the other hand, to keep going, stick with it, and try to get over that hump? And the dip is that, when you first start a business, this is sort of the gist of it. When you first start a business, you have that sort of high of starting everything's brand new, and you might even get a little bit of traction going, and then it just kind of plateaus and then falls off for a little while until you really find that right fit with what you're offering to people, and you tweak everything just right. You stay in this sort of dip place, and then all of a sudden you'll start to take off again and get some traction. And I just have had moments in, what people call the trough of sorrow, where I'm just like, am I in a dip or should I quit? I don't know. Screw the dip. It's lasting too long.
That's like Malcolm Gladwell, the tipping point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're in the dip until you tweak one small thing that makes the biggest change.
Yeah.
So what have you, I know you guys are interviewing me, but like what's your guys' ingredient?
We don't know yet.
We're
Yeah.
still figuring it out. We're in the trough right now.
You're in the trough.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're all in the trough.
Yeah, I think so.
But you guys
That's
are.
why we're here.
Yeah.
We're figuring out how to
Yeah.
get out of the trough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I strongly believe that you guys are going to get out of the trough and it's going to be
thanks.
amazing things. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we will too. It's
Yeah.
just finding the right ingredients, the right mix of everything to get us out.
Yeah. I wish I had your demographic. You have a demographic that, seems to have, bottomless pockets. So.
Yeah, $6 billion a year spent on instruction is a lot in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only growing every year, and that's just instruction. That doesn't count clothing. I mean, altogether, clothing, accessories, and everything. It's something like yogis spend about, I think, $16 billion a year on their habit, on our habits. We have a very habit-forming activity. Yeah.
But you also have so much value that you're providing to these people. you
Yeah.
know. I can't tell you how many people I know personally that, want to, whether it's working out, fitness or whatever, and they can't really commit to going to a gym or whatever because life happens.
Yeah.
And you can't, it's like life happens. So.
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the passion ingredient is helping people. That's really, what will help me wake up the next morning after a shitty day and wake up and be like, okay, I can keep going. We're gonna help like one person today. It's gonna be rad. And you guys are helping a lot of people too. I mean, with what you're doing, it's streamlining so many archaic processes.
Yeah, it is.
What was the light bulb moment for you that you realized that this is something that people need and they would want?
I was in the shower, and I realized fairly quickly that the shower was not going to happen. And
So that's actually your story.
This is part of his pitch.
This is
so.
part of my pitch.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
So I dug deep and found something.
Giving us your passion story.
Passion
here.
story. And so I was really pissed off, and I was like, what's going on? And they were like, well, we put notices. The building management said, hey, we put notices, and so it's your responsibility to. And I was like, what notices? So there's a bulletin board. We put one on where the elevator lobby, And I'm like, but
Nobody reads.
What if nobody reads, And
Who has the time to do
the
that?
time to do that, yeah, exactly. So they're like, well, if you have a better suggestion, sort of almost sarcastically, or if you have a better suggestion, then, try running a building yourself, something like that. I said, I do have a suggestion. and then they were all ears, and they said, wow, let's try this. And so they tried it in my building that I live in, and it was a hit with both residents. And so now everyone's informed. Everything's at your fingertips. House rules, everything you need to know about the building is at your fingertips. You don't have to walk down to the office to reserve an elevator if you're moving anymore, or to reserve the recreational area for a barbecue party or whatever. You don't have to do that anymore. In the same way, the property manager doesn't have to take your calls, or in a building of 300 people. Have to take calls every day trying to schedule people for the barbecue pit when everything is on the calendar, it's on the app, you can see what times are available. Same thing with the elevator, same thing with maintenance, streamlining maintenance and putting it all into one portal. The board members have their own section where they get to see everything on the app, so security reports, maintenance reports, they can search by keyword, by date, by issue. And so we've taken the thing and sort of ran with it. A lot of it has been feedback from property managers as well.
Yeah.
Telling us, hey, look, could you tweak this way? Could you do this way? So yeah.
It's one of those things that I know is going to be successful because it's one of those products that's like, well, of course, duh.
No
I mean,
brainer.
why hasn't that existed until now? Why hasn't anyone else done this?
Yeah.
And I'm sure when you tell people about it, and
Yeah.
property managers, their eyes light up.
Yeah.
They're probably so excited about the possibility of making their
Yeah.
lives so much easier.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. And primarily it's because it buys them so much time.
Yeah.
They get to, the opportunity cost of not doing this is all those phone calls, the hours of, paperwork and all of this that you have to do.
Yeah.
And they think, gosh, I could be more productive. Sort of that whole thing. So yeah, they definitely light up. There's a small contingent that, looks at us kind of up to the side, like sideways like this, and they're like, what did I think of this?
Exactly. It's like, why doesn't this exist
Yeah.
already?
Yeah. So, but overall, it's been a really positive, feedback, positive response, and so we're looking forward to growing and, taking it beyond just residential property management. We're going to do commercial, and we've identified another niche, which is student housing.
Oh, yeah, for
So we're going to get into student housing as well.
No, they don't read the bulletin.
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely not.
Exactly.
Only if it's on the phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I really like how, this came about in reaction to a situation. Instead of just getting pissed off and ranting and raving the whole day and taking it on everyone else during your day, you were like, well, no, actually, I do have a better idea. That's a very yogic kind of moment, to kind of control your
Yeah.
reactions, to look at the situation, and to sort of take charge of the situation and shape it. And I know that you have some experience with yoga.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been talking about it after office yoga.
Yes. I have now. I just realized, just talking to you guys and in my interaction with you guys, that yoga is so much more than the majority of the population think that yoga is. Because I think the layman thinks that he looks at yoga as a bunch of stretches and contortions.
Definitely.
Whereas there's so much more. It's so much more holistic. There's so much more to it, and you might be doing parts of yoga in your daily life and not even realize that you are. And we talked about breathing exercises and my insomnia and how sort of resorting to doing breathing.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit more about that? Because I know there are a lot of people out there who suffer from insomnia and difficulty sleeping, and maybe resort to medication to help.
Yeah. It's really cool, and I've always been into self-help.
Yeah,
I've read the whole gamut, and so I got into breathing stuff when I was in college, and it used to help me because I would study till very late, and then my brain is so wired I can't fall asleep. So I started doing these breathing exercises, and essentially what I would do is I would relax. I would close my eyes, channel my eyes to sort of the middle of between my eyes.
Call that the third eye.
The third eye. Yeah. And then I would breathe. While I'm focusing on my breathing, I would relax my body from my head all the way down to my feet, and just let go of different sections of my body. And initially, I would used to do it for 5 minutes. When I first started, I'd be doing it for 5 minutes. I struggled with, other thoughts coming into my head, and then I'd stop focusing on the breathing, but you've got to not resist those, just let them slide off, and then come back to the breathing. And eventually, I got it to where, with practice, I about 4 weeks of practice, I got it to where I was falling asleep like clockwork within 45 seconds.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
And the key there is with practice.
with practice.
You're doing it regularly and
Yes.
doing practice.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You have to do it regularly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm
that's
inspired.
yeah.
I need that.
yeah, it's really good. And there's a lot of literature out there that has similar exercises, but breathing is really big. Like whenever I have a stomach ache or something, or indigestion, I have cramps, I resort to breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Stress.
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, because yoga is all about the connecting our mind and our bodies and our spirits, all the different parts of us together, and breath is really what helps us connect. Breath is that thread that connects everything. And so oftentimes, like when we're experiencing pain, yes, the pain is actually physical in our bodies, but so much of it is just being registered in our brains. And whatever's firing around that can either make it worse or make it more, mellow it out. And breathing exercises are a big pathway into that sort of calm space, calm that reaction down.
And that's a big part of yoga.
Yeah.
you
That's
guys
what
do.
makes, I can't remember, I think it was Patabi Joyce. Oh, yogis, call me out if I'm wrong. Who said that, yoga's different from exercise because of breath. When you're letting your breath drive every movement and connecting every movement with your breath, that's what makes that physical practice of yoga. And I emphasize the physical part because there are many other parts. But, if you're just, stretching without paying attention to your breath, it's just exercise. Nothing wrong with it. Exercise is awesome. I do it every day. But, yoga
It's not complete.
gets deeper, right?
Wow.
Helps us fall asleep,
Yeah. Yeah. I've wanted to actually, Mike and I, my business partner Mike Harding, who's not here right now.
Shout out, Mike. Where are you at?
He's one of the most nimble individuals I've met, and you know how big Mike is.
He's huge. Mike is a big
6'3",
guy.
Yeah, 6'3", 300 pounds. Just like he's a Idaho corn-fed farm boy type.
Totally.
But he's so nimble, and him and I have been thinking of getting into yoga, sort of together, and it was perfect when you guys said, hey, not only were you in the program, but that you're going to be doing the
Office yoga.
the office yoga. So yeah, we missed the first one. But
What did you think about the one session that you were able to make it to?
It was good. It was really good. It taught me how terrible shape, I guess, and how stiff I am.
Yeah, we did the whole class in a chair, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just for all of the people in the office to give them an idea of how they can take a break from the computer and sit back for a second and do their own stretches, and hopefully help them out in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a serious note, it really taught me that yoga is such a wide. It's such an extensive. There's so much to yoga.
Yeah.
And the way that you feel afterwards, it's like a euphoria. And
It's like, we call it a gateway drug.
Yeah. So it's cool. I mean, I don't know if that's I don't know what it is, if it's serotonin or whatever it is that gets released, but it's a good feeling afterwards.
Yeah, and it's intended to be sort of a more than just a thing that you do. It's intended to really become a way of living in the world. So through the practices that are sort of laid out to do, we just start to access, different ways of living.
Yeah.
Just that feeling, we can start to maybe carry it a little farther and farther into our day each time, and it affects how we interact with people and the things that we choose to do with our time, like choosing to help people, with the work that we do.
Do you guys practice daily?
Yeah.
You worry more than me.
Yeah.
I get a little bit in every day.
I would disagree. Yeah. Bello Dodi practices
But
yoga
you're
every day.
doing.
Yeah.
But you're doing.
Maybe in the bigger, the bigger meaning of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's a lifestyle.
Definitely. I know plenty of people who, will say that they do 3 hours of yoga every day, but then go out in the rest of their day and treat everybody like shit and don't carry anything that they learned off the mat. On the mat they're great yogis, but then as soon as they're off the mat, there's somebody else. So somebody like Bello doesn't do 3 hours of asana every day, but Bello does way more yoga than a lot of people. Throughout the day.
So yoga is not an elite secret club or an elite private club that
point.
it's a mindset.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tagline of the episode: yoga is a mindset. I'd say that you have a lot of that going on with what you're doing too.
Thank you.
Yeah, I see a lot of that.
You guys influence us in very positive ways as well. So nice having you guys.
We share the yoga vibes back and forth across the office.
Yeah, no, I really look forward to seeing you guys and and seeing what you guys can do for people around the world.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise, sir.
Hey, we'll put a Mojo yoga thing in our streaming thing in our app.
Hey, there we go.
Hey.
So people have yoga at their fingertips. Business idea number 437 since we've been here. So, Bello, tell everybody where they can get in touch with you and the Condo App.
Oh, yeah. So, you could get more information at thecondoapp.com. And you can email me for more information at Bello, BELLO, at thecondo app. Or you could just shoot an email over to info@thecondoapp. You can also call us directly on our 800 number, which is 1-800-644-0320.
Awesome. Yeah. So we'll have links as well on the blog this week at mymojoyoga.com/episode 60. If you're still only listening to this episode on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts, you definitely want to come and check out the video of these beautiful people here with me. So thank you so much for joining us, Bello.
It was a pleasure. Yeah.
We enjoy spending all the time we can with you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we'll be back with you guys next week with a brand new episode. See you soon. Keep your mojo working. Aloha.
Thanks for hanging out with Jean Marie and Scott on The Mojo Show. If you're stoked on what you heard here, please be sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes and leave a little love note in the reviews, if you know what I'm saying. And remember, you can always listen to any and all episodes of The Mojo Show at mymojoyoga.com/The Mojo Show. Until next time, keep your mojo working.